Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Knowledge Groove podcast. In today's episode, we're going to explore a topic that has shaped the course of history and continues to influence the way we live today: the evolution of democracy. From the earliest ideas of governance in ancient civilizations to the modern democratic systems that exist across the globe, democracy has gone through significant and various transformations. Let's journey through time and discover how democracy has evolved. Athenian democracy is often considered the first true form of democracy, though it was quite different from the systems we know today. The word democracy itself comes from the Greek words demos, the people, and kratos, power or rule, which literally means rule by the people. But unlike modern democracies, where every citizen has the right to vote, Athenian democracy was limited to free male citizens who were born in Athens. And one of the most important figures in Athenian democracy was Cleisthenes, who in 508 BCE reformed the political structure. He introduced the concept of direct democracy, where citizens participated in decision-making through an assembly. Citizens could vote on major decisions such as going to war or imposing taxes, which set the foundation for democratic governance. However, women, slaves, and foreigners were excluded from the political process, making it a much narrower form of democracy. Next, we travel to ancient Rome. While the Roman Republic While the Roman Republic wasn't a democracy in the purest sense, it did feature elements that would influence later democratic systems. Established in 509 BCE, the Roman Republic introduced the concept of elected officials and a senate that represented the interests of the people. Roman citizens elected representatives known as consuls to govern alongside the Senate. While only a small portion of the population had the right to vote, the idea of a republic with elected officials would go on to shape democratic ideals for centuries. The Roman Republic is often regarded as one of the first forms of representative democracy, where people elect their leaders rather than ruling directly. However, Rome's political structure was still heavily influenced by a small elite, and it wasn't until later that the voice of the common people would expand. Then we fast forward to 1215, a year crucial for democracy because of the signing of the Magna Carta. The Magna Carta set out the idea that no one, not even the king, was above the law. It guaranteed basic rights for the nobility, including protection from unlawful imprisonment and the right to a fair trial. Though it initially applied only to aristocracy, its principles would later influence the development of constitutional law, including the rights of ordinary citizens. And even though England's monarchy remained, the Magna Carta marked the beginning of the long journey toward greater political participation and civil liberties. American Revolution in the late 18th century is also considered a turning point in the history of democracy. The American colonists, frustrated by British rule, declared independence in 1776 and fought to establish a government that was of the people, by the people, and for the people. The US Constitution, adopted in 1787, established a federal system with the separation of powers and a system of checks and balances. The Founding Fathers created a republic where citizens elected representatives to make decisions on their behalf. Bill of Rights, added in 1791, guaranteed essential freedoms such as freedom of speech and religion, setting the stage for a broader conception of democracy. Then, as time progresses, democracy spreads beyond the United States. Soon, in many countries, democracy was no longer just about elite participation. It began to encompass a broader spectrum of society, with a growing focus on equality and representation for all citizens, regardless of gender, race, or wealth. Fast forward to present day, and democracy is the most common form of government worldwide. Over 100 countries today are considered democracies with varying systems of government. But the journey isn't over. Challenges like voter suppression, inequality, and authoritarianism still threaten democratic systems, and the evolution of democracy continues as societies strive to make their systems more inclusive. But that is a topic for another episode. Thank you for tuning in to the Knowledge Groove, and we will catch you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious.